Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, children of all shapes and sizes. It is time for the Piledriver Podcast with myself, Dynamite Dave Abbott, the surgeon, Gerv Collingwood. He's an NHS hero, and we're welcoming him back. Devastating, Dale Whitelaw.
You forgot
How we
his
doing,
name
gents?
for a second, didn't you? Oh.
No, I didn't, mate. I was building it up, man. I was building
Yeah.
it up. I'm telling you. As a ring announcer, I've got a future.
I'm not devastated.
Yeah, so how's it going, chaps? How are we doing?
I'm good,
Yeah, good.
as far as I can be.
Same old shit.
All good. Excellent. Let's get straight into it then, lads. Let's discuss all things Royal Rumble, with it being that time of the year again where WWE puts on its flagship maiden pay-per-view of every year, the Royal Rumble. Let's just jump straight into it then. Let's discuss all things good and bad about what we've experienced as wrestling fans on the Royal Rumble over the decades.
So I was just admiring how laggy you were then. You're like, it was amazing.
I was actually dancing, mate. I was actually doing the robot. Do you know what I mean? That's how good I've got it. I've got it proper nailed down.
Pulling it off that well.
Been watching loads of videos of Peter Crouch. Watching loads of Peter Crouch videos, so I've got it nailed. So yeah, Royal Rumble, lads. Who's going to kick us off with their first memories of watching the Royal Rumble and what they thought of it at the time?
I'll start off with 1999 because realistically, I can't remember a lot of them. I remember the 1992, which was like bloody awesome. But 1999 is when I first actually got back into WWF and started the around Attitude Era, and like half the people I didn't recognize. I mean, I'd only started watching WWF again in like late '98, but I remember that was absolutely star-studded looking back on it. And obviously Vince entering at number 2 with his tits out, and it was just like, what the hell?
Tits McMahon.
Sorry, I'm about to say it. I did swear there. You know what? Bollocks to it. He fucking wasn't all. It was unreal.
And you only limited one person. Stone Cold.
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, of all the people to eliminate, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It was mad. I just remember watching it. And it was absolutely crazy. But that look, I watched it on WWE Network the other day, and it was still not bad. It still holds up as a decent Rumble, to be fair.
Who won that one then? The 1999 one, because that would be the
Vince.
last one of that
Vinnie Mac
decade.
won it.
Was it Vince?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
Vinnie Mac himself, Big Vin?
But then the next night, he stepped aside as the number 1 contender, and automatically Stone Cold was made number 1 contender by Shawn Michaels.
So it was
Ah, right, okay. It was quite pointless then, really.
It was.
Yeah. You touched upon that 1992 Royal Rumble, Dale. Was that the one where it was Ric Flair and Hogan in the last 2?
No, it wasn't actually them on the last 2. A lot of people do make that mistake, mate. It was Sid and Flair last 2.
Yes.
Because Hogan helped eliminate Sid, which set up their match at WrestleMania that year.
That's right, yeah.
Before he started stabbing people with scissors, I'm guessing. But it was that was probably one of the most the best ones to watch. Apart from Bobby Heenan going, it's not fair to Flair. It's not fair to Flair. I'm like, shut the fuck, will you?
Yeah. But Bobby the Brain Heenan was gold, though, wasn't he? He was absolutely gold. Like, as a heel manager and as a colour commentator, Bobby the Brain was brilliant. But that Royal Rumble, though, yeah, you're right. Sid, it was Sid Justice, wasn't it, at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Sid was tipped to be the next big thing, wasn't he? Almost like a Hogan handing the baton down. That was the big thing behind the scenes.
Hang on.
To get Sid
I know. Hogan handing something down? You what?
I know. Sorry. Hogan being paid to hand the baton down to somebody else.
I need
and that was the idea, wasn't it? and obviously when Hogan chucked him over, that's when he became was it Psycho Sid?
Yes.
Not long after that.
I think so. Which led
It's
to
like
a really, really, really bad match at WrestleMania and really, complete mistimed ending to the night. Thanks, Papa Shango.
Oh, it was awful. It was absolutely terrible, that match. Really, really did kill that WrestleMania. In terms of Royal Rumbles, then, Gav, what's your earliest memory?
I can't remember which year it was. It was the one with The Rock and Stone Cold facing off right at the end.
2001.
I'm glad you remember the year.
I do watched it earlier.
That's probably why. Is that the one where they changed the poster to put someone else's face at the front instead of?
They've done that. They've done that with a few shows, mate. To be fair, I can't remember which bloody one that was.
I can't remember his name now.
Mm.
I'm sure this is. Oh, yeah, the murdery guy.
Benoit.
Jimmy
That's the one,
Snuka.
yeah.
Oh, no, he's on there. Oh no, they have edited it now, though. Yeah,
They've taken it off since then, though, haven't they? But originally, at that time, he was on the poster, wasn't he?
I think he was at the front.
Yeah, he was on the
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, it was.
Him and Jericho were in that ladder match during this on the same event.
Oh, it was an immense match, that, though. It was absolutely quality, that match. Really was. I think my earliest memory of Royal Rumbles, it's a bit of a sort of jaded one, was that Hogan, Sid, and Ric Flair one, because I remember everybody at school the day after, like, can't believe Ric Flair's won, that old git, that old bastard, you know what I mean, blah blah, I can't believe he's won. And there was proper beef in the playground about Ric Flair winning. But you know, as you get older, you just realise, although probably not the most skillfully, technically, you know, sort of high-flying superstar of his generation, but Ric Flair was a sick heel. So for him to win the Royal Rumble in that way, he just made for gold, didn't it, in the run-up to the WrestleMania and beyond. But I think one of my favourite Royal Rumble memories, and I've said this to you too before, is it's Royal Rumble 2001, the one where Kane set the record, I believe, for the most eliminations, and the longest. I think, was it the longest time for an individual in the Royal Rumble? I think at the time, was it nearly an hour, wasn't it?
Just over an hour. I think it was like an hour and 4 minutes.
Just over an hour. And did he eliminate? Was it 11? 11 people in the Rumble.
12, I think. Oh, actually, it might have been 11. I know Roman Reigns, purposely beat it in 2014.
Of course he did.
And that's when he was cheered as well. That's the funny part.
I know.
But yeah, I'm about to say, I'm sure. Yeah, it was 11 or 12. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it was impressive during that. The thing is, that was during Kane's peak year, because he did really well in that. He was in Final 2. Because he eliminated The Rock.
That's right.
And he'd about to say that he won the hardcore belt, and then he won the IC belt. He did, he was in a lot of main events, obviously during the invasion. He was in a real, did really well that year, to be fair. But I've always
and it was a good. Absolutely. I mean, that era of Kane was he was a heel, wasn't he, at that time? But then, sort of going into that Rumble, as the Rumble went on, he just started becoming face, because there's a point in that Royal Rumble. That's it. There's a point where, because I think back in 2000, was that the year that he chokeslammed the Undertaker through the ring? He actually put him through the ring, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he started wearing his leotard, didn't he, at that point?
That's right. And then he came back in that like sort of really crimson red and black sort of leotard outfit, which made him look a bit more badass, and his mask was darker as well.
Yeah.
And there's that point in there where him and the Undertaker sort of, they're back to back, and I think they're turning around to each other, and it's almost like them two are going to go for it, and then they just sort of like have a gentleman's agreement, and then literally turn back on everybody else in the Rumble, don't they? And then obviously that from then onwards, when Stone Cold eventually turned heel and became the two-man power trip with Triple H, that set up obviously Kane with Undertaker, Brothers of Destruction, and all the various tag matches that they had as well. But that Royal Rumble in particular was when the Honky Tonk Man came in. That absolutely cracked me up, because it was just him and Kane.
You want to hear me sing my song?
And then he gives Kane the guitar, doesn't he? He gives Kane the guitar, and then he just rattles him over the head with it, doesn't he? Yeah.
Shocking.
Absolutely quality.
Here's one for you, though. A little bit of trivia. There has only been 2 Royal Rumbles for a world title. Only 2 in history.
Where the winner gets the title. Is one of them an 80s one?
No,
88?
you had 92, which was the Flair one. And the other one was 2016. So, what, 24 years later?
I know
Triple H
2016. He did, didn't he? Yeah, well, of course he did. Yeah, so... Yeah, because I never knew that until you said the other day. I never knew, up until, obviously, apart from the 1992 one, that there was another one for the title, because obviously the idea of Royal Rumble is the winner goes on to Mania, don't they?
Only from 1991, though. Only from 91. Yeah, because Hulk Hogan actually won the Rumble in 1990, and he was a world champion, because the final 2 were him and the Ultimate Warrior.
That's right. So, when was the first Royal Rumble then? Does anybody know when the first one was?
88. 88, I believe.
And who won that one?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Get out, man.
Yeah, mate. And the following year, Big John Studd. So this is what I mean. You had no world title challengers around that time. It was basically just, right, let's just throw them in. But I don't even think main event stars were in the first couple of Royal Rumbles.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's class, that. Most cringeworthy moment of a Royal Rumble, then?
It's coming up tonight, isn't it? Goldberg.
Goldturd. Yeah,
Goldberg winning tonight. Apart from that, probably Triple H. No, I don't know, actually. For me, it'd be a divvy between 2. Batista winning it, despite the crowd booing him out of the building in 2014, because everybody wanted Bryan.
Blue T-Star.
Oh, mate, it was bad. I actually watched the day of documentary on that the other day, and I mean, he comes back through the curtain after the Rumble, and he's pissed because they're just booing him because
I've seen it, mate. He's livid, isn't he? Absolutely livid. Yeah, I've seen that. It's unreal. He's literally spitting feathers, isn't he, when he comes back through the curtain.
The other one as well for me would have to be Roman Reigns winning in 2015.
Yeah, because again, wasn't that supposed to be Daniel Bryan winning that one? Or the crowd were hoping that Daniel Bryan was going to win that one. Was that right?
They were hoping somebody else would, because I think the final 4 came down to Corporate Kane, Big Show, which obviously was part of the authority at that point, Roman Reigns, it was somebody else. I can't remember for the life of me who it was. And I remember that 4th person went over, and then the crowd just went absolutely balmy. And The Rock helped Roman Reigns win, and they were booing the shit out The Rock as well. And even he was like, you could see live on camera, he's like, whoa, all right.
Yeah, because I think it's classic WWE, innit, where they're trying to force the new face onto the fans rather than let it happen organically. You know, like we've seen WWF do in the past, where, you know, the sort of rise of Hulk Hogan, it wasn't an imminent thing that Hulk Hogan was the face. There was a few matches, one thing. I think the sort of main tipping point, I think, for Hogan was the WrestleMania 3, or maybe just prior to that, in the build-up to him fighting Andre the Giant, that eventually got Hogan over with everybody. And then obviously it kind of switched over a little bit to the Ultimate Warrior, and then you had the natural Macho Man as well. And then in the Attitude Era, organically, it was Stone Cold. It was The Rock. It was organic. It was natural. But then I think ever since the sort of the really big push on John Cena, and listen, I don't not like John Cena. All right, is another one of a recent years that's just been handed title matches and things like that. But I've never not liked him because he has grafted to get where he has. But
that's it.
With the Roman Reigns thing,
cheered.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. And with the Roman Reigns thing, it was no fault of Roman Reigns. It was just like Vince went, I want you here. I want you here. You're headlining Mania. You're You're going to win the Rumble. Blah, blah, blah. And I think it was just too much too soon. And I think what WWE have found since those, I think the turning point was the Blue Tista Royal Rumble, was that fans aren't stupid, and fans will not buy into any old shit that's being forced upon them. I mean, the amount of footage you've seen at pay-per-views of WWE in recent years where they're chanting for a refund as well. Do you know what I mean? So, but in saying that, yeah, exactly, like Hell in a Cell. But I'm intrigued to see where heel Roman Reigns goes, because I do think this is working. I mean,
the only thing I don't like
interesting
about
to see how that's.
Sorry, mate. Sorry to interrupt. The only thing I don't like about it is I reckon they're going to build him as kind of an unstoppable thing, whereas I think we all know he's going to win against Kevin Owens. But I honestly feel whoever challenges him at the Royal Rumble, for whoever wins the Royal Rumble and challenges him at WrestleMania, I think it's just going to be shooting fish in a barrel. I think it's just going to be lamb to the slaughter, where it's just he beats the shit out of them at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And because they haven't got a pissed off crowd to deal with, they'll just go, "Well, sod you, we're doing it." I honestly can't pick who's going to win the Rumble tonight. But also, I'm just like, well, whoever wins it, I think it's going to be a waste of time. I don't think they'd have Drew McIntyre lose at WrestleMania if he wins tonight, and I don't think they'd have Roman Reigns lose this short into a heel turn. I reckon they'll want him to outdo CM Punk's title reign, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Potentially that, yeah, I think so. And I think as well, there's so many rumours that have been going on for months and months now, like well into last year, about The Rock and Roman Reigns, all this head of the table, being the head of the family thing. And there's so much, isn't there, going on behind the scenes that, I think it looks inevitable that it's going to be The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Is that going to be at WrestleMania? I don't know.
They have said that,
but I think
it doesn't look likely now.
Oh, really? How come?
No crowd. No point.
Well, exactly. No crowd.
Just for
The
no
Rock.
pop.
They said they'd want to do that on a big stage where there is a crowd, because there is going to be some crowd, isn't there? But not much of one.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing as well? Could be. Well, the other thing, I think the other said they're lining up is either Shinsuke or Debray.
Yeah, because I think Shinsuke's becoming since the Gauntlet match on SmackDown. I think he's going to be coming into I think he's going to have a face turn, don't you? What do you
he's got his old face music back, I've realised.
That's right. Yeah.
I watched SmackDown for ages, but I saw a clip and I was like, holy shit, he's got his old music back, which gets the crowd singing to it. So it's
exactly. I think they'll do something with him and Jey Uso first. Maybe bring that up at the next pay-per-view, and then maybe build that up to Roman Reigns. Predictions tonight, then. I've got a feeling it's either going to be, if he returns tonight, it could be Seth Rollins, face turn.
Could be. Very good.
Wins the Royal Rumble. And that was also mentioned earlier on tonight as well on our Facebook page by Carulus Tempulus. And he also said as well, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins come back in the face turn. Second option is, I've got three. Second option is Daniel Bryan finally wins the Royal Rumble. I do think that's a bit of a red herring, potentially, because he's been threatening that in the last couple of SmackDowns. So who knows? The third one, I think if Shinsuke wins it, I think that'll be absolutely immense, because I don't think many people will see that coming.
He has won it before.
And did he win the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, he won it a few years back, and on that night straight away challenged AJ Styles, which led to the really disappointing match at WrestleMania.
He did. Sorry, yeah, I said that. Was that 2000 and?
Yeah, it was 2000 and something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Was it 2000 something, Gav?
Yeah.
That's good.
2018.
I think I've narrowed it down. I was going to say 17, so yeah, 18. That's fine. So those are my three. Any one of those three. In terms of the female, the ladies' Royal Rumble, I think tonight, I think Charlotte Flair's going to win it. Do you think Lana's going to win it?
I think,
Only because they were setting Lana up for a big push late last year, and they said she got injured, which she even said she didn't, on Instagram, saying that they were apparently setting up for a big push, like kind of a fighter's mentality. This is why they were having her being put through tables by Nia Jax, Miss Accident Prone herself every week. So I reckon tonight Lana. Why the fuck is she in a wrestling ring? I do apologize for language, but that's what she drives me to. Why the hell is she even in a ring?
What she got on Vinnie Mac?
That's it. That's it. It's shocking the amount of people she has injured or nearly injured. I mean, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch is one of them.
Asuka's partner, I can't remember her bloody name now.
As well.
When she did that bloody...
She had to go back to Japan like pretty much straight after because she was injured. The buckle bomb.
That's it. Yeah, that was
right.
it.
Yeah, the buckle bomb. Yes, that's right.
And then Liv Morgan on Monday. It was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Liv Morgan. Did she? Who was it? Who put out?
Sani,
is it Chelsea Green?
I pronounce her name. Kira Sani?
That's it. Something like that.
Oh yes, Kira Sani. Yes. Yes, she did. Yeah, she put her out for a good while, didn't she? She put her out for a few months. Did she also put Chelsea Green out as well? Because Chelsea Green came from NXT, didn't she? And then had a serious injury in NXT. Then finally got drafted onto, I think it was SmackDown. And then literally on a debut on SmackDown, she got the same injury again where she broke her wrist. I'm not sure if that was Nia Jax though, but Nia Jax, yeah, man, she's so accident prone. It's unreal, isn't it? Botchmania.
A list of 6 wrestlers that Nia Jax has injured. There's Selena Vega.
How many?
6.
Yep. Oh,
Selena Vega, Ember Moon.
6. Oh, I was one out.
R-Truth.
Ember Moon.
Apparently she actually injured R-Truth.
Oh,
it's at the Royal Rumble, yeah. Bayley, she's injured her. Charlotte Flair. And Becky Lynch, obviously.
Yeah, Becky Lynch is probably the standout
one. That one.
Becky Lynch is the standout one. That's right. So I think tonight, my prediction for the Ladies Royal Rumble, I'm going to go Charlotte Flair because I can see that since Charlotte and has been sort of part of the women's tag team champions, you can tell she's kind of had one eye on the main belt itself. And I think this, unless, who's that one who's currently copping off with Ric Flair at the moment? Who's that?
Lacey Turner, is it?
Lacey Turner is, yeah. Could she perform some sort of screw job maybe on Charlotte? But I'm going to stick with my first prediction on that one. So I'm going to go Charlotte.
Don't mention
and I'm
screw
thinking
jobs, Ric Flair and hair, please. It's just putting images in my head.
No, it's wrong. Like a fart in a lift. Wrong on all levels. And yeah, and I'm going to go for the men's one. I'm going to go. I'm going to call it. I'm going to say Daniel Bryan. So I'm going to stick with those choices. What do you two lads think are your choices? What are your choices for tonight's Rumble?
Women's, I'll probably go Lana. I'm about to say I just have this feeling that she's going to return. I think, obviously, just about to say, I'm going to be a bit of a long-winded explanation for this. I think WWE is going to try and pull something really out the bag tonight because this is the first Royal Rumble they're doing with no crowd. So they have to get some sort of really good reaction. And end of the day, they know they're fighting a losing battle to AEW because a lot more people like AEW's products. I personally think, and I have thought this for a few weeks actually, CM Punk could return and win.
That would be money, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that? But then again, it's a great shout that. But if they were going to get him back in the ring, would they not wait for crowds? Maybe.
Depends if they want the figures, because how many people are really, really slating WWE's product at the minute? They're relying too much on pre-filmed segments, i.e., Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss, and banning the Fiend and all that shite. It's
it's garbage, that.
And the fact that they actually said that they're heading towards a Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania, that is not such good shit. It's just shit.
It's good shit, but without the good. That's all it is. What does so tonight we've obviously got some singles matches, tag matches as well.
I might not get my prediction then.
Oh, sorry, Gav. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm just
is Jake Martin going to win the Royal Rumble, Gav?
I hope so. But I've gone for a while now. Bye.
Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce.
I've got a bold prediction for Royal Rumble, and let's face it, it's probably right. I would say Mill's going to be Triple H win it. Comes out, announces himself at 30, wins it, and for some reason, because she always sticks around, so I'm going to say Nia Jax is going to win it as well, because she's got something really big on them.
I think you should actually be predicting how many people she injures during that Royal Rumble.
All of them.
What? Even in the men's, all of them.
Yeah. She'll just walk in and then they'll go get like damaged shoulders and bust noses and injured kidneys.
Destroys
and
Michael Cole. Jerry the King Lawler gets a battering as well. We've what did we think? So now we've got our predictions for the Royal Rumble. What did we all think of Randy Orton's turn as John Merrick's Elephant Man the last couple of weeks on Raw, / Freddy Krueger with the mask on and the what can only be described as not quite burns, but just somebody who fell asleep in the garden during a hot day in summer.
I thought he had pepperoni on his face. Guess I was wrong.
I thought he'd been tangoed.
I thought it was just a bad case of psoriasis.
I mean, if there's one thing that's still shitter than Alexa Bliss's Funhouse Playground thing, which the last 2 or 3 weeks on Raw have been almost unbearable to watch during those segments, because I think it's
not almost.
She could win tonight instead of Lana. Actually,
that's a good shout. Actually, now that we've mentioned her, these segments though are just Sword of Omens give me cringe beyond cringe, because they are terrible. They're almost as shit as Randy Orton himself, trying to convince everybody he's some sort of psycho.
Almost.
In terms of tonight, what do we think is going to happen? Do we expect to see a return of the Fiend at Royal Rumble?
Yes, but not for long. I reckon Randy Orton might get into a little bit of his stride. Probably final 4, maybe final 6. Looks like he's on a bit of a roll. The lights go out, Fiend appears, mandible claws him, and then disappears with him. I reckon that is probably as much as we are going to see the Fiend tonight. Then Randy Orton goes out on Raw tomorrow, pissed off, what a match, all that shite, and then because apparently they were going to do some sort of gimmick match tonight. Obviously that hadn't happened, so I honestly think it'll probably cost Orton his shot at the Rumble, and then that'll lead to the Firefly Funhouse match.
Yeah, but if it makes him disappear while he's in the ring, then it'll be a whole, I was never eliminated.
That is true. That is true. Well, then actually, if that happens, then he'll probably face the winner of the Rumble on the next pay-per-view for the title shot. The Fiend will then cost him that, and then that'll set up the Firefly Funhouse match. You two guys should get a job on WWE Creative, because that might generate 10 more viewers.
What's the point?
Just that storyline alone.
What's the point?
That's not good. That's not good. It's just a good prediction. It's shit.
Yeah. Okay, then. There was a promo on Raw last week of quite an irate and angry Edge. It was almost like the rated R superstar version of Edge. Are we predicting Edge to come back into this Royal Rumble as well?
Yes,
he's already
as maybe a heel turn.
Superstar. He's the rated PG superstar now.
He's a rated PG superstar.
I don't think Edge will win. I reckon they're going to be in the final 4. But because they said it, originally they said about him and Orton, I Quit match at WrestleMania. That isn't going to happen. I reckon, because obviously he caused an injury to Edge inadvertently last year. Well, no, to AJ, sorry. AJ kind of caused his own injury by flipping over too bloody much.
True.
But they are on about maybe Edge versus AJ at WrestleMania, which I think could be good. I honestly think that could be good. Any match AJ's in, it's bloody good.
True. His match with Drew McIntyre at the last pay-per-view was fantastic at TLC. Loved it. Absolutely brilliant match. Right, just give us 2 secs, guys. Just talk amongst yourselves. It's going to be 2 mementos. I think what we should talk about next, what do you think about surprise entries tonight?
Oh, I was going to say that. You beat me to it.
I don't really know. I think John Cena's going to return. I've got a feeling
yeah, that's a good shout.
They need a pop, and he's always available for them, but
I'm just hoping to stay away from Taker. I'm just hoping. I hope they kind of resist that edge to nag the Undertaker to do it, because Kane could, yeah. I reckon I'd stick by CM Punk, but in terms of say, and I don't know, it could be The Rock. It could be The Rock. He could enter at number 30 and win it.
Goldberg.
Oh fucking hell, not Goldberg.
No, I like Goldberg.
Oh yeah, Goldberg will be a set. It'll be a dead set.
Run out, new record.
He will be. He will be. So about to say, he'll probably square up to something like Kane or Braun Strowman, and just he'll walk out and do his thing, and then it'll just get slung over the top, and then just walk out and do the same thing.
I think Godfather could come back again.
Yeah, that could be a good shout, actually. Godfather, especially after the appearances made with all the Undertaker stuff last year.
Only his right to censor as good father instead.
Oh my god, I don't know. That entrance theme makes my ears bleed.
Hurricane will be back. Hurricane Helms.
Could be. Jeff Hardy,
He's already in it.
Is he already in it? Right.
Yeah,
I never know when he's bloody injured 1 minute to the friggin' next.
I can't really think of any stars that I want to see back. Moxley?
CM Punk could be it for me.
John Moxley?
I heavily doubt that. Although, they have brought Renee back for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say they brought her back for the 1 episode, haven't they?
Technically, Disney have brought her back.
That's true. Same as when CM Punk did the program, wasn't it?
He's apparently back.
Is he?
Allegedly back on that Raw thingy, whatever Fox thing is.
Backstage. They say that with him coming back, that makes me think he could return tonight. I know there's been no rumours whatsoever, but as I said before, mate, with that, they need a standout moment. They need a moment where everybody's talking about it. Like everybody was talking about Edge last year. Like friggin' hell, he came back, he did really well. Actually showed he still got it. This time, they're working with no crowd whatsoever. Probably just a load of KKK members on the video screens again. But with the need a standout moment, which WrestleZone and WrestleView and what have you are going to be writing about in the morning, where they said this guy returned, did really well, set up something for potentially Mania. They need a standout moment. This is why I think CM Punk could be the standout return tonight.
I've got a feeling that it'd be Brock Lesnar.
Could be.
Yeah.
Has he ever won a Rumble? Yeah, he has actually.
It's apparently still on contract.
I
don't know what the contract status is at the moment.
He's not in contract.
He's not contracted with anybody at the moment. Yeah, he's not on contract with anybody. Do you know what as well? I know this will be nowhere near in the same league as this, but do you know what wouldn't surprise me? And like I say, it's nowhere near in the same league as CM Punk. I think Brock Lesnar would be kind of a bit predictable. Does anybody want a part-time Brock Lesnar anymore? I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if, even after all the heat over the last few years, if Ryback comes back into it.
Oh God, I hope so, because I don't want him on
After
AEW.
all,
oh God,
no, I'd rather not have him on AEW.
I forgot about him.
Fair. But with all the heat and the current heat between him and Mark Henry, and the many things that he said negatively about his time in WWE and about the company since, I wouldn't be surprised if if Ryback came back into it, I mean, you only had to go back to all that heat with years ago with Vince and Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett turned up at a Royal Rumble, didn't he, as well? So, again, not on the same level, but I think for controversy, I think Ryback could come back. Have we mentioned any others as well? What about any retired stars that could make a comeback?
Kurt Angle?
Gav said The Godfather, which I said was a really good shout. Seeing how he did, he was so involved with all the Undertaker stuff last year. I said, I do not want to see The Undertaker. Let the man stay retired. He's done 20 frigging years. Let him rest. Let him rest in peace.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Let the dead man stay dead. RVD? I won't be surprised as well. RVD would be a good shout.
Bradshaw?
Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys actually could be a really good shout, actually, because they're not contracted anywhere at the moment.
I could see, but I can't see Devon with his kids being in AEW. I don't think they'd let him.
But is Devon contracted to WWE, or was he a talent scout or a producer for WWE?
He was at one point, yeah.
Yeah, along with Road Dogg, wasn't he? Road Dogg was a talent scout as well. Could we maybe see Eric Rowan? It wouldn't be anything major, would it? It's not like it'd be.
Sorry, guys, my computer just died.
That was quick getting right. Though, wasn't it?
That was quick, actually.
I don't know if she's gone.
What about in terms of female wrestlers? Could we see Lita, Trish Stratus, Mickie James once again?
Apparently, someone leaked that Trish Stratus is already in it.
Oh, right, okay then. So we think Trish Stratus is more or less a defo to come back on that. Tori Wilson.
I hope Lita comes back.
I don't know about Tori. Then again, I mean, Tori Wilson, she was more there as eye candy. She was never taken seriously as a wrestler. I don't think she ever won the bloody belt, did she?
No.
Even in stables, it was basically, we're a group of hotties. It was never serious wrestling.
Yeah. Do you know, I know it sounds a bit too soon, and it wouldn't surprise me with WWE. Becky Lynch?
Could be.
Could be. She's only just gave birth like a couple of weeks.
I hope not, because I think it'd be far too soon.
Yeah.
Because was it November?
Yeah,
she gave birth, was it November?
Like the Raw after WrestleMania last year. I think, she gave birth, was it late November?
Yeah, that's true.
December?
Yeah, I think it was.
I just want to make a really good prediction
like
about
so
who's going to come back for the Royal Rumble. Alberto Del Rio. Because that's how shady WWE is right now.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Yeah, but he can't, because he's currently under... He's still to go to court, isn't he, about the charges that have been put against him.
He was charged already, wasn't
he? Yeah, was it sexual assault?
Has he already been charged though? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you think
he's got more charges than a '90s rapper?
He hasn't been convicted yet, but he could face up to 20 years.
That's right. Yeah, they're saying so. I mean that again. It wouldn't surprise you. It's WWE, but I'd be absolutely blown away if that was the case. Do we think we could see the return of AJ Lee?
Could do. Well, I was going to say, with them saying that they're relying on a lot of old timers, like in terms of like legends for WrestleMania, I think this could be a proper packed Legends Rumble. Because I mean, you look at say who's confirmed, and the like on Wikipedia. And it's not actually that many, I think. I think maybe 18 confirmed. If that. Can we... Do you want to double check that?
That's not that many, is it?
22.
Yeah.
22 out of 31.
22 out of 30 confirmed. So you could have somebody who's come from one of the world title matches. So
13 on the women's.
Yeah. See, I'm trying to think of people who aren't contracted. I mean, is it being confirmed that nobody from NXT is allowed to go into the Royal Rumble?
Oh shit! You know, I never thought of that. We could see Finn Balor.
We could see Finn Balor. We could see Pete Dunne. We could potentially see Tommaso.
Baby.
Damian Priest has been promoted from NXT onto, I think it's the SmackDown roster. So I wouldn't be surprised tonight if Damian Priest makes his sort of top brand debut tonight in a pay-per-view, because he's definitely now been promoted. And I think he starts on SmackDown.
Let's hope it's better than
shortly.
Lars Sullivan then.
Oh yeah, Lars Sullivan. What is all that
What is
about?
he doing?
I mean,
what is he actually doing now?
Well, they get him. They get him going, don't they? He literally destroys everybody, and then he just goes off air for months. So,
Doing K-porn again?
I don't know. I think probably, because I know Vince was on about giving him a big push, but I think there's so much backlash against him, and how controversial he's been on social media in the past. I think they've given up on it, to be honest with you.
Vince stopped with this whole. He realised as well. Vince has gone back to the turned big man stage, like he was in the 90s and 80s. He seems to be going back to that, and it's just like, mate, give up, seriously. I mean, he had a good run where he was letting people like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles and what have you just be well
Rey
champions,
Mysterio.
and that was good. Rey Mysterio, but just in the last 4 years, I'd say, he seems to be going back to, I like the big man. I like the big man to represent the brand. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is talented when he's given the chance. I think the heel one's brilliant. I think it's cashing in on his notoriety. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, right, all right, you know, Drew McIntyre has been champion for better part of a year. Obviously, it's been twice, but he's still been better champion for part of a year. Give it to somebody believable like Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke, AJ, what have you. I mean, everybody was really excited when AJ was champion and Daniel Bryan was champion. Like, you know, we want to see these guys because they provide, you know, they create quality matches.
Yeah, they do. Genuinely gifted wrestlers.
Yeah.
What do we think about the singles matches tonight then, guys? Outcomes and predictions of any of the singles matches tonight. Let's start with Mr. 2.5 minutes himself, Goldberg, versus Drew McIntyre.
I hope
Gav,
Drew wins.
You think Drew wins, Dale?
I'm hoping Drew wins, but I'm hoping Goldberg does not cash the, well, I'm going to win card like he pulled with Bray Wyatt last year, because that would just be shit. And it took a lot from, I mean, even though people still liked Bray, it took a lot to build him up as a believable, unstoppable, like, psycho killer gimmick after that, because Goldberg destroyed him in about, 4 minutes? It was shit. They absolutely killed him.
Yeah.
And even the Firefly Funhouse match against Cena, it wasn't a match. It was basically like an extended segment.
Yeah.
This is such good shit. That's honestly, I thought, what I was watching it. There was one cinematic match last year that stood out, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant because it reminded me of old times, and that was the Boneyard match. AJ versus Undertaker. Nobody knew what the hell we were going to be. They even didn't say what the rules would be heading into that.
Yeah.
But it was basically just a hardcore street fight, and it was absolutely brilliant.
I like that one. We was on about that last week.
Bold as fuck prediction for this match.
Go for it.
Goldberg's going to win, but The Miz is going to cash in on him straight away and win it.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'd like to see The Miz win. I'd like to see The Miz win the title, because he was actually a good heel champion, and I'm hoping him as champion creates a bit of tension between him and John Morrison, which leads to John Morrison challenging him. Because Morrison's awesome. He's one of the best.
He's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that could actually be the championship match at WrestleMania, where John Morrison wins the big one finally. Because he's won it in TNA, he's won it in Mexico, but apparently he was actually being landed for a title run before he left the last time, I think 2011. And it was such a shame as well, because he had a title match against The Miz, but he went in injured.
That's right. Yeah, he'd injured his leg, didn't he? Yeah, he injured one of his legs, I think.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, Gav. Right, because you're a bit of a fan of old BJ Goldberg. Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre tonight, right? But Goldberg comes out dressed as Santa Claus.
Yes.
And he comes out in his Santa sleigh outfit with all the weapons, and he actually comes out like
with
that
Godfather's
freaky
hose.
bison thing that
With-
pulls him out
I've
on the
watched
sleigh.
that. I
The
still haven't
Godfather's
watched that
hose
yet.
come out with him. And they can say ho ho ho's again.
Yes, absolutely. Who are you rooting for in that match? Drew McIntyre or Santa Slay Goldberg?
Oh, Santa Berg all day.
Santa Berg. Yes, Santa
knows
Berg.
when you're
Because I think
sleeping.
Santa Berg would be able to do at least 6 minutes in a match without doing a really poor jackhammer. Do you know what I mean? Just
You're on a Saturday night, that Dave.
It really is. Not by much, but it is. Not by much, though. Not by much. What else have we got tonight, then? We have got...
Turns to Vicky and says, "Who's next?"
That's right. Who's next? As he starts knocking the bar door.
Women's Tag Team Championship.
What else have we got, then? Yep, okay, so Women's Tag Team Championship. Who wins?
Nia Jax, because she's the only one not injured by the end. She
Nia
wins
Jax
somehow
wins
injures
both belts.
shit. She somehow injures.
if
Nia
Nia
Jax
Jax
injures
wins,
the belt.
I think Charlotte could be in the Rumble.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think
Nia
that's how it's
Jax.
going to go down. And that actually,
Nia Jax
Charlotte
injures
and
the belt.
Asuka could be the final
the
two in the
belt.
Rumble if they lose the tag team belts.
True, like it. Yeah, that could be a good one. Yeah, because that could create some friction. Because I think Charlotte is definitely after the belt.
Yeah.
And I think she's due a heel turn anytime soon. Any others before we wrap up, guys? Any other singles matches that really stick out? We are expecting a Miz cash in. Last man standing match.
I honestly think that'll be brilliant. I really do, because I mean, Kevin Owen in a no DQ setting, we've seen it before. He's bloody brilliant.
He's great, isn't he? He's
No
absolutely
DQ setting.
brutal.
It's not
Yeah.
going to be a squash match, I don't think.
Add that with the intensity of Roman Reigns at the moment, I think that could be a good bit of brutality. Probably could even see a bit of claret flowing, whether it be
Yeah, I think so.
a sneaky blade job or it could be legit.
Just get Nia Jackson.
They're both. You got me?
Just get Nia Jackson. She'll cut him open.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. She'll win the match for him.
Yeah.
I wonder if Sami Zayn's going to come out at some point for Kevin Owens during that match and take out one of the Usos that interferes.
But
Do you think?
Sami Zayn at the minute. I cannot stand Sami Zayn at the minute. I just think wearing them green combats with his gut hanging out and that bloody big, basically like one of the Wyatt family, and the hairpin
Oh,
just bloody awful. I was like, mate, get an haircut, cut your beard, start wearing your bloody tights again, lose some timber. I mean, his gut puts man to shame at the minute.
but you know what though? I am looking forward. If this documentary that he's filming is legit, I'm genuinely looking forward to
It could be
watching
good.
the Sami Zayn documentary because
Sami
I
Zayn
think it'd be quite
shit.
funny.
I don't think it'll be long before he's in AEW. His contract runs out, he'll be in AEW. I'm telling you, because
Yeah, I think so.
I remember when he
Yeah.
was on Raw. I think it was when last year or late year before, and people at the start of his heel turn and were like, "Oh yeah, he was asked me about AEW," and he got some shit for that.
That was
Vince
yeah,
was
he
like,
did, didn't he?
backstage.
Yeah. It was Demon Vince from there, the Firefly Funhouse. Is Big E tonight? Big E versus...
Apollo Crews,
Yes, it is, in it. Sorry, yeah, Apollo Crews. I'm
Big E wins.
thinking Big E wins, but I'm expecting Sami Zayn to interrupt that because Sami Zayn's currently wearing a shirt saying, I am the... Is there a match tonight with Big E for the Intercontinental title?
Don't think so.
I thought there was.
I thought there was one.
I know the US title's on the line. Bobby Lashley against oh bloody
The
hell.
Bro.
The bro.
Matt.
He currently
Yeah.
sounds stoned all the time.
Yeah, he does. I'm not a big fan of this barefoot wrestling.
I don't. I'm like, mate, it's not MMA. You know, go back
No,
to Point
exactly.
Break and then come back.
Yeah. Point Break.
actually
Yeah,
can't
Point
see
Break
it
with
that much.
Griff Garrison.
Right. Anybody watching under the age of 23 or something like that? I mean, the original, not the piece of shit remake.
Yeah. No.
The 18
There is
one,
only
not the
one.
12 one.
There is only one Point Break. Ah! There's only one Point Break.
That's
only
true.
one. There is. Any more before we wrap up, guys? Because we've covered the main event of the Royal Rumble itself. Who we think may surprise us, who we think is going to be the winners, who we think might come in as sort of headline-grabbing entrances as well, or making their comebacks to WWE, or even their debuts. I do hope we see some NXT in there, because the NXT, for me at the moment, is the best out of all three shows. Just watching it, just my opinion. But I think when you look at pound for...
Only just beating SmackDown, though. SmackDown's doing all right. Raw is just...
Yeah, Oh, Raw. I totally agree with you,
3
Gab.
hours.
Raw is by far the worst.
Where's
hours
Retribution?
Flicking my light switches. Look, I'm enjoying Retribution.
Getting Vince coffee.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying Retribution. Oh, look, I've got a light here, actually. Here we go.
Trying to disrupt your transmission. Oh, no.
Retribution.
Maybe breaking some generators outside of WWE headquarters, because evidently we really believe it's run on a diesel generator. A full show, the main staple of pro wrestling, is run on a backup diesel generator. Do you know
Well, it is Vince. It is Vince we're talking about here.
Now, I could understand if that was a creative team running a generator. I could understand that. But, so there we are then, guys. Go on.
Another flaw in that as well. If the power went out of the generator, why did the feed carry on and the show didn't just go off completely?
I'm telling you that, all you heard was Vince going, "This is such good shit."
It really is. Yeah. It really is. It's just,
it's... a final
I think it's just like... It's like WWE at the moment is just what goes on in Vince's head. That makes sense. We're going to run with that.
He's just made another $1 billion somehow.
Yeah.
I know it's over for 5 years, but
it's amazing, isn't it?
But yeah, it'll get
it's
no
amazing,
sense out of it. I wonder how many people row with Vince on a daily basis about his products, especially his son-in-law.
Are you ready for a final really bad prediction for the Royal Rumble? For who could be entry number 30? Donald Trump.
Go. Donald Trump. Linda McMahon.
I'll tell you what. Let's actually answer that serious before we go. Who do you think is going to be number 30?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. All right, Dave.
Seth Rollins.
Fair. Could be a good shout. I'll go with The Rock.
I was going to say John Cena, but I'm going to stick with Seth Rollins.
The Rock is
Gap
a good shout.
earlier, actually. Yeah, good shout.
I don't know about The Rock.
Who do you think it'll be?
I think it's a waste if it's The Rock. Although he wouldn't have to train too much to basically just eliminate one person.
Oh shit, it could come down to like him and Lesnar as the last two, and then he just slings Lesnar out.
Maybe. I think Kane will make an appearance as well at some point. At which number, I don't know. But I think we'll get Kane.
That was mentioned earlier when you went for a Jimmy Jazzle from your Wizzy Wazzle.
Yeah. Excellent.
Kane
I wasn't actually, Gav. I was counting on my AEW figures, Gav. Sorry.
Yeah.
It took so long. Right then, guys. So that's the Piledriver Podcast with the Royal Rumble. And overall, okay, last question from me anyway. Do we think we will be disappointed with the Royal Rumble?
The Royal Rumble itself, no. The rest of the card, yeah.
Barring the last man standing match. The pole event will probably be an absolute shit show. The women's one, yes, I think it'll be Ted, and that's not against women. But as I said to you guys, I think the women's product in WWE has dipped so much recently. Like, you know, there were main eventing. There were shows at some point, a few years back. Now it just seems they're given like 10 minutes, which is kind of going back to the days of leaving Trish Stratus during Raw. Oh yeah, let's bang them on there. Yeah. They'll go on for a bit. They're good to look at. Let's give them 10 minutes. They do a bit of thing. Yeah. That's it. I reckon the women's want to be crap because they always just throw in a load of random lasses who are not even chasing for the title.
That's true.
And then they bring back a load of legends as well. I think there's probably the first one where we don't see the Bellas, obviously with them only just dropping their kids. But I think the women's one will be crap. I think the men's one, depending on how they do it, could be good. Like who they bring back, when they bring them back, who the final four are, that remains to be seen. Genuinely, I mean, I will be excited. I'm debating watching it live actually. We may not been at work tomorrow. Funeral's not till 3:30, so I might actually watch it and have a bit of a kip in. But the only match I know has got potential to be a really good match is the last man standing match because I don't think I've ever seen a crap one of them. If I want to be honest, they're always really good to watch and they keep someone on your edge of your seat. I think if Roman Reigns wins that, it will be by 1 second, or it could be a double KO, which will have him,
retain the belt
anyway. Exactly. I really do think it could end up like that. Look, thinking about it, the men's Royal Rumble, like I say, it depends on how they do it. I'm hoping Braun doesn't come in and just clean house and win it and just go, oh, that's the bit. That's about it.
I've just thought about a potential win for the women's one. I just suddenly clicked. We could see a return on the women's and a winner. Ronda Rousey.
Good though. They have been talking about that as well, haven't they?
Yeah, there has, because again, not contracted with anybody, so free agent, able to come into it. Wouldn't surprise me. I think it'd be interesting to watch her and Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
Two proper MMA fighters going at it. I think that'd be interesting.
Good mates as well, because they train together.
Remains to be seen, guys. Exactly. Yeah, they did. Right then, guys, that's all from me on the podcast. Anything else you gentlemen need to add about Le Royal Rumble?
No, but I think next week we should, after we've all watched it, we should recap what we thought would happen. Like, look back on the podcast before next Sunday, look at what we predicted, and see if any of that.
See if any of it. Yes.
What's the forfeit?
Love
what's the prize if we get it right, and what's the forfeit? So we've got to have a forfeit for if we get it wrong, or if one of us gets it right, the other two don't get it right.
Okay.
Who's going to win the Royal Rumble?
I've said Daniel Bryan, and I've also said. What did I say earlier for the women's one?
Oh.
I said Daniel Bryan for the men's one. I said Charlotte Flair, sorry. Yes, I did. Yeah, Daniel Bryan, Charlotte Flair.
I'll go with Daniel Bryan, and I'm really torn between Lana or Alexa Bliss.
I'm going Seth Rollins and Ronda Rousey. So I'm going to lose this.
Winner chooses forfeit. Winner chooses forfeit.
That's it. The forfeit will be, if we manage to get down to Zach's wrestling school, then you have to take a move.
Tornado DDT.
I'm thinking top rope. So
yes. Tornado DDT.
Well, I don't know.
Not the tornado DDT.
Actually, so I'll take a top rope.
Do you know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Just take a suplex or a frog splash from Zach. I think so. Definitely.
That's bad idea.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get him on the show this week as well, guys. All being well, he'll have made a speedy recovery.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think that's
right then, guys.
Then.
So, thanks for.
Yes. I'm going to lose.
Well, I don't know. We're going to find out in about how many hours is it? Be about
I've got a proposition actually.
4 hours. No,
Because of COVID, we're not going to be able to
about
get
6
there
hours.
for a while. So I've got a proposal actually for a forfeit.
Go on.
Whoever loses or whoever wins gets to rename one of us two, like the others. So
Yeah.
they could change
like
the
that.
gimmick.
Any name you want.
Yeah, and it sticks until the next pay-per-view.
Yes.
Yes. And it can be as harsh as
A
you
bit
want.
like what Miro's done with Charles Taylor.
It's Charles. I like that idea.
Charles. He's not Chuck Taylor anymore, is he? Charles Taylor. I like it. So, basically, I like that. So whoever loses becomes like the boy to the others.
The bitch.
Is that what Miro called it? Yeah, the bitch. You're going to be my boy. Yes, I like it. Great idea, guys. Yes, the Piledriver Podcast bitch. The PP. The PPB.
The bit.
Does the winner get
Yes,
a title belt
bitch.
as well?
I could design a title belt and then just put it on the t-shirt or a cup.
Yeah, we should create our own title belt. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Especially when the podcast gets more in.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. So we'll get a t-shirt done. Yes,
Idea.
definitely. Dale, we're going to chat about getting them t-shirts done as well for definite. Get some design sent across to us when you've got time, dude.
Yeah, but we're reopening next weekend. Any viewers watching who've contacted We Design, we are opening next weekend. Obviously, we've had a delay due to bereavements. But yeah, we're opening next weekend, ready to go.
Coolio Iglesias. Right then, chaps, I've got a hot date with some scones, some butter, and some jam, and episode 5 of The Stand. So enjoy your evening, gentlemen.
And your hand was up at the time.
Gav,
I've got a hot date with.
and Gav, and Gav, I'm just gonna go over there and count my AEW figures as well. Just
you're going for a Jimmy Jazzle for me, Wizzy Wazzle.
I've forgotten how many I've got, Gav, but I'll count them and I'll let you know later if that's all right, Gav. Is that okay, Gav?
Sorry, I'll send you a photo one.
Guess what I've got in the other hand as well.
All right, Dale. It's not a competition.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow, when all our Royal Rumble predictions will come true. Adios, gentlemen. And for all those listening, please feel free to put your comments and your predictions about this year's Royal Rumble. Adios, gentlemen.
Nice.
There you go.